All right, guys, we are doing a trig review today because you're going to need that to do 11.4 day 4. This is why I kept it fresh in bell ringers and I throw it on homework assignments every now and then because like I told you, that was something I didn't want you to lose. I wanted you to make sure you remembered how to do trig. Remember that we had this little Indian boy's name, and I'm in my kid's shower in case you're wondering. See, shower. My whiteboard wasn't working. Also, I have strep throat and my voice kind of cuts out a little bit, so bear with me. It's not COVID-19. I talked with my doctor. He's given me medicine for strep, so I'm fine. But when we talked about trig, we did trig and inverse trig. So today you're just going to be dealing with regular trig. We're not revisiting inverse. And what you're going to need to be able to do for the problems moving forward is regular trig. So Gatoa helped us remember the trig functions. The S stood for sine, which was opposite over hypotenuse. The C stood for cosine, which was adjacent over hypotenuse. And the T stood for tangent, which was opposite over adjacent. And remember, it had to go in that order. So when you set up your trig function, if you're using sine, it cannot be hypotenuse over opposite. The opposite side, the value of the opposite side has got to go on top. And then I had given you guys 5 steps on just a reminder on how to do trig. So our first step was we labeled our sides based on the reference angle, and they would be labeled as opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse. Our second step was to circle the 2 sides that had values, or the 2 sides we were going to use. The third step was decide which trig function we were going to use. Were we going to use sine, cosine, or tangent? Our fourth step was to set up that function, and then our fifth step was to solve. We're going to use those steps today. Okay, so let's start. I drew a right triangle down here. Now, for the sake of today's problems, I'm going to give you this angle. Tomorrow, you may have to find it using what you know about central angles, and we'll go over that tomorrow. I just want to make sure you can do trig today. So I give you the angle and I give you a side. That means you've got to use regular trig. And today I'm going to tell you which side I want you to solve for. For this problem, I want you to solve for this side, okay? So step 1 says to label our sides opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. We do that based on that reference angle. Okay, my reference angle is this guy here. The side opposite that angle gets the O. The side that's opposite the right angle, this guy here, that's always your hypotenuse. And then this one is your adjacent, okay? So we've done step 1, we labeled those sides. Step 2 says that we have to circle 2 sides with values. What 2 sides are we going to use? I know that I'm going to use this one, okay? Now I have to choose between this side and this side. Which one am I going to use? Well, I'm solving for x. I don't need to mess with this one at all, so I'm probably going to circle this side. Step 3 says, which function are you going to use? Are you going to use sine, cosine, or tangent? Well, what do I have circled? I have O and A circled. So I go up here. This has O and H. This has A and H. This has O and A. I circled an O and an A. So that means I have to use tangent. How do I set that up? Tangent of 25 degrees. Remember, it's always your reference angle that goes right here. So tangent of 25 equals, is it A over O or O over A? What goes first? Right? O is first, so the O goes on top. What do I put in for my opposite side? What's my value of my opposite side? It's an X. So I put my X here. Over A, what's the value of my side that's A or adjacent? 10. I put my 10 here. Okay? I'm going to put this over 1 because then we have a proportion. And we're just going to cross multiply. What is x times 1? It's x. Set that equal to the tangent of 25 times 10. Times 10. Okay. And then we are just going to take our calculator. Let's clear this out here. And we're going to type in tangent 25, close my parentheses, 10 or times 10. Enter, and you get 4.66. Now we're going to round to the nearest hundredth, so we're going to leave that as 4.66. Okay. X equals 4.66. All right, and that means that this value down here is 4.66. And that's just a quick reminder on how to do trig, okay? So you're gonna have problems today where you have to solve for different sides using what I just showed you. Use those 5 steps and they're gonna get you to the right answer every time. Once I know you're good with trig, you can move on to 11.4 day 4. Your assignments will be posted on Schoology. Thanks, guys.